As the jurors began their deliberations, they must surely have heard echoing from the streets below the voices of those demanding a conviction.
Power to the people.
Then came the inheritor of Martin Luther King's mantle to lend his moral authority to the cause.
So now what I'm going to do as a frontline activist is pass the mic to an elder, the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson.
And the canyons of downtown Minneapolis became his prayer hall.
So I know it's dark.
I know it's dark.
But the morning coming.
But the morning is coming.
Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Keep hope.
Keep hope.
Alive.
Alive.
George Floyd.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
George Floyd.
Say his name.
There are moments in history when this country catches its breath, waiting for an outcome that could lead it into chaos or show it a way out. The verdict in the Derek Chauvin trial is one of those moments, because America has been on a racial precipice since the killing of George Floyd.
It has been very traumatizing to watch the trial, to see the videos over and over again of George Floyd being killed from many different angles. It was also horrifying to think about the fact that his voice was silenced unnecessarily.
I brought my baby to y'all because I want y'all to see what this is really about.
24 hours before the end of the Chauvin trial, there was a large gathering at the place where George Floyd was killed.
That we have to come together because we have no choice. It's just common sense.
Right.
It was a celebration of life and a day of the dead.
George Floyd!
George Floyd has become a sainted martyr. His shrine keeps growing. And on the ground at the heart of it is the outline of an angel on the roadside where Floyd's body lay dead under Derek Chauvin's knee.
Because the world saw it. It was on tape. People finally identified with the humanity of George Floyd. They saw him as a human being, not just a black person. Saw a human being get his life snuffed out.
Get off of him now!
The trial of Officer Chauvin began and ended with the jury watching videos of a homicide in slow motion.
Check for a pulse.
Bro, are you serious? You gonna just let him keep here with that on his neck,
Let me see a pulse.
Is he breathing right now?
The video that changed everything was filmed by a schoolgirl, Darnella Frazier, standing with her 9-year-old cousin.
To hear Darnella Frazier say at night she talks to George Floyd and she apologizes to him for not doing more, and she said that through tears. No 17-year-old should have to experience that.
I want to talk about the bystander evidence. How significant was that?
It was tremendously significant. I knew that it would be emotional testimony, but I don't think any of us realized how emotional it would be.
Oh my
The more that the knee was blockaded on his neck and shimmies were going on, the more you seen Floyd fade away.
That in no way, shape, or form is anything that is by policy. It is not part of our training, and it is certainly not part of our ethics or our values.
The jury watched Derek Chauvin help load into an ambulance the body of the man he'd just killed. His face showed nothing. His defense would be that Floyd died of a drug overdose and heart disease.
In the end, this was a trial about two competing narratives about the cause of death. Who won?
Definitely the state. The pulmonologist, Dr. Tobin, was one of the finest expert witnesses I have ever seen. And he put on a teaching clinic for the jurors in very plain English.
The cause of death is a low level of oxygen that caused the brain damage and caused the heart to stop. A healthy person subjected to what Mr. Floyd was subjected to would have died as a result of what he was subjected to.
As the Chauvin trial neared its conclusion, Minneapolis was set reeling by yet another police shooting. 20-year-old Dante Wright, killed in a traffic stop. Facing sometimes riotous protests, the police barricaded themselves in their Brooklyn Center headquarters, protected by National Guard troops. Divorced from the community they patrol, the police are taunted and reviled.
Left! Left! Right!
And one armed militia wants to replace them altogether. Local members of the new Black Panther Nation are here in a show of strength to distribute food to residents affected by protests and looting. In a city where scores of black men have been killed by police, many others have seized the moment to demand fresh investigations of the deaths of their loved ones.
My son, Kobe Heisler, on August 31st of 2019, he was a 21-year-old who was on the autism spectrum.
Kobe's death was captured on police body cam. They say he lunged at them with a knife and that the killing was justified.
I understand it was 3 or 4 shots. The one shot that I do know, because nobody warned me about this when we were finally able to see his body, there was a perfect bullet hole right in his left temple. I know that there are other gunshots. I have not looked at the case file. Can you imagine?
Will the outcome of the George Floyd trial impact you?
No.
Does it matter to you that he is convicted?
Oh, it matters with all my heart and soul that he's convicted. Somebody's got to take it and do it first.
We're gonna be out here all night! I'm here because I'm tired of the police killing black people.
Each night since Daunte Wright's killing, protesters have maintained their rage. Local residents we spoke to, their community in tatters, have no sympathy for the police.
Everybody's just sick of it. So, I mean, I have 3 mixed kids, so I want them to see both sides.
Tell me what you're sick of.
The crooked police.
Many, like this young teacher, speak with a simple moral power.
With George Floyd, we're in the middle of a trial, and to know that Daunte was killed in the middle of a trial, it just makes it more heavy. I just want to keep fighting for what we're doing. I'm sad and heavy-hearted, but on one hand, I'm also glad that we're able to do this. We're able to come together and fight for justice.
In Cup Foods, the grocery store where George Floyd's ordeal began when he passed over a counterfeit note, people nervously watch the final hours of the trial.
It's kind of, nerve-wracking. It's kind of feel like nervous because I know that the city is really, falling apart because of this.
How do you feel about being part of something so enormous that went around the world and changed the world?
It hasn't changed the world yet. And I'm not gonna lie, we were just talking about that the other day, our kids are gonna be doing history projects and stuff like this, and it's sick because we're living in it. This is life. This is what we're dealing with. I just hope that before he does a report on it, we get justice and stuff makes a difference.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.